I was just talking with a friend about decentralization. It's just one of those common buzzwords that you hear in the Web3 circles. And I remembered an article that I put up on my blog that actually is really just a summary of a great video that Craig Wright and Xiaohui did. And a lot of it centered around, I think they used Uber as a use case in their conversation. It's been a while since I watched the video, maybe a couple years even. But this article is what I thought of when I was talking to my friend, because the way that decentralization gets pushed is that it's on the minor level, right? With the trilemma. You can read about what the blockchain trilemma is. It's a fallacy for the most part because it's talking about decentralization on the minor side of things. When Now, in a world where we have enormous growth in the chain, we are going to get more mining facilities, but they are going to be facilities. They're big businesses because they need big budgets so that they can get the best equipment so that they can create the blocks fastest, which is what you want, right? But anyway, this whole idea of decentralization is I like to think of it more that it actually happens on the application level. And so this article talks about ways that we are disrupting centralized service models. So for example, on TreeChat, I don't think they do it this way yet. I'm not positive, but technically speaking, if you control your keys that post to TreeChat and those UTXOs that hold your data, that's your data. And so technically speaking, a system could be designed such that your data could plug into any social network and that same data could be displayed. You could take it off a TreeChat, put it somewhere else, put it in both places, that sort of idea. How that gets architected is another whole conversation, and that's not why I brought it up. I brought it up to explain these decentralized models. And so in the conversation between Craig and Xiaohui, they brought up decentralization of ride sharing. So you're moving away from where Uber controls the whole system. Developers could focus on creating better user experiences, more efficient matching algorithms, or enhanced safety features. Maybe they specialize in this or that. But basically, you're working on an open protocol. And so the protocol is what gets developed on top of, not the company. So that's one way to think about it. And so then, of course, we get competition and we get differentiation, things that some people, maybe I don't care about safety because, I'm a big, strong guy or whatever. Maybe, and so you'll go to the platform that maybe is a little bit cheaper, that doesn't have the same sort of, obviously they're all going to have to comply with whatever laws are there, but maybe another one really advertises that they vet drivers for, A, B, and C, and I like that as, whomever. And so another thing they talked about is the potential for aggregation services, and they could compile offerings from various platforms. So think, in the overlay architecture, that sort of thing. So it would give users the flexibility to choose services based on their preferences. As I was mentioning, maybe there's driver ratings things. Maybe they like certain kinds of vehicles. Now, of course, Uber is trying to do all that. Like, you can get a fancy vehicle, or you can get the cheap crap vehicle, or, they're doing it, but it's only one company that gets to do it. So you don't have price competition. The benefits to users and drivers, of course, you reduce the fees charged by centralized platforms. Drivers could potentially earn more, and that would be the hope, because anyone that's following the Uber story knows that these drivers get paid crap. They have to work a lot harder. I don't think they're paid as much as taxi drivers were paid when taxis ran these systems. So, that's kind of the gist. I would recommend for sure taking a listen to this video. They titled it Uber Without Uber Inc. And so it really gives you a sense of how this could work in practically any service model.
Got a curve in the game, laid out clean with the point named G and a math machine. Pick a secret number.